Please mute your cell phones. And for those who can, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I want to call the meeting to order and ask our secretary for the to the roll call, please.
Yes. Members of this dedicated and hardworking group are...
It's not on.
No.
Now? It makes a lot of noise. Okay, once again, I'm trying to tell you who the members of this dedicated group are. And the president is George Keltner.
Here.
And Vice President is Don Hoffmeister. Our Secretary is Wayne Schweifler. I'm the Secretary, Bob Winry, and the members of the lodge are Beverly Adair, Angela Fick, Margot Schweifler, and Alan Winterbotham.
And Bob, would you take care of the approval of the previous minutes?
I'd ask the council if they would make a motion for approval of the amended minutes of the last meeting.
So moved.
Wayne? Angela? Any objections? Thank you.
I'd like to have the treasurer's report now, Wayne, please.
Good morning. The treasurer's report covers the month of June, and we had a beginning balance of $24,064, expenses of $392, income and donations of $880, leaving us a balance of $24,552. Of that, we had employee scholarship fund donations of $577 from both donations and the Cozy Corner Thrift Shop. There were no disbursements that month. Holiday Gift Fund had income of $243 from the Cozy Corner Thrift Shop and no expenses. Library Fund had no income and expenses of $203.47. Happy Hour Fund had income of $60 and expenses of $53.77. General Fund had no income and expenses of $134.89. And this will be posted on the slippery hand. This will be posted on bulletin board as well as it will come out on the email. George, any questions?
Now, we'd like to get into the reports of the standing committees. Margot, would you please start us off with the activities group?
Good morning. The special events for the month of July. There's an outing to a restaurant today. It's the Cowboy Cantina, and you need to sign up for that. It's today at 4 p.m. in the main lobby. You leave from the main lobby. Thursday, on the 20th, at 3:30, we have a very special event. It's the Ivy Club Music Social with Bob Allen. Those of you who attended Bob Allen show last time, it was overwhelmingly produced and everybody enjoyed it. So I'm sure it will be packed, so come in early. And on Friday, we had the big event of Shane Going Away Party. It's at 3 p.m. I hope you can all come and show your appreciation to Shane for all the wonderful things he's done for our community. The monthly happy birthday party is going to be Sunday the 23rd at 3 p.m. here in the auditorium. The traveling event with the Kettner will be on Monday, July the 24th, again here in the auditorium, and we'll be going to the Baltic Sea Cruise. It's a rather interesting trip, so please come in and enjoy it as well. There will be a Carlotta volunteer lunch on July 27th. Those of you who are going to be participating should have received a special invitation from Vanessa. Pardon? Any question? There will be a gospel sing-along on Sunday, July 30th here in the auditorium at 3 p.m. And as usual, on Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m., in the Poppy Lounge, there will be what they call Soda Fountain Sunday. So it looks like an ice cream treat to me. So those of you who can eat ice cream and indulge, you can show up around 4 o'clock. In the August activity, Vanessa said she has reserved some seats for the Tony Bennett free concert. It's on Thursday the 3rd at 2 p.m. But you need to sign up for that if you have any interest. So check with Vanessa or the front desk. The scholarship committee will elaborate more on their presentation for the scholarship workers who will be getting awards. Our new resident council will be on Thursday, August 24th. So mark your calendar and come up and welcome all the new people, okay? That concludes the program. Any questions?
What is the Ivy Club?
That's a very good
It's
question. The Ivy Club is a new name for
a new name
a special event in the
for
month.
special events that they're going to be coming out under the Ivy Club name.
They will have special gifts. This month is Bob Allen, and we think he's very special because he's very entertaining. So I assume that every month they will try to give us someone unusual or more interesting than our routine performers. And we should be looking forward to that every month.
So we don't have to join or pay dues?
No,
or
no, you're all welcome.
We
Yes.
tried.
Is this something actually put on by or supported by Oakmont?
Yes. Yeah. Vanessa is behind all those special things. Yes?
Is the Tony Bennett performance a recording?
I have no idea. Please check with Vanessa. I think it's kind of a tribute, but I don't think he's there in person.
I don't think he could make it anymore.
Yes,
I believe September 3rd is also the circus that we're going to. Is that right?
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
oh yes, that's true, so it's conflicting dates, so those of you who sign up for
September.
September
September.
3rd.
It's not on there.
Okay. Okay, we're into August, so we haven't jumped to September yet. Sorry. Any other question? Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. Angela, would you please tell us about building and grounds?
Good morning.
Good morning.
With the full maintenance staffing, reports and requests for service are being handled much more quickly and efficiently now. Some of the many items that have received attention include the 500 courtyard fountain pump, the 600 courtyard rocks are being completed, if not already done. The fire riser doors have been painted and labeled, and weed killer has been applied in the grass areas, although we may not see the complete effects yet. Among other issues needing additional attention are bugs at the large pool hot tub, to evaluate the use of our barbecues and decide which ones we can maintain and use. And the town center lobby, glass, and exterior door closures need attention, and that will be looked at in the next few weeks. Some services that we have are scheduled on a rotating basis. For example, the twice a year cleaning of the casita roofs and the drains, and there is yearly AC servicing where they look at each unit to decide if it needs any additional service or fluid. And that's done again on a rotating basis throughout the year. The possibility of scheduling a Burtec pickup for small appliances and other items which should not be put in the disposal bins is being considered. And if they're able to schedule that, we'll know so we can save up our items and not have to worry about taking them individually. There are AC controls in some public areas throughout. Do not adjust them. If you feel that there's any issue with the air conditioning or later maybe with heat, you need to inform the front desk. As you probably know, adjusting that unit in a large space can take quite a while to take effect. So if people are going up there and adjusting because of the temperature they think is right now, that may not be efficient. So please do not do that on your own. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Oh, dear.
I'm just curious. It seems to me that in the town center, that in the last 2 or 3 days, the hot water is much hotter than it's ever been.
I think that's probably true, mainly because it's going through the pipes, and that happens, in the cold climate, it takes longer to warm up, and the hot, it's taking longer. But I would assume, is that the case, Polly?
Yes.
Molly?
Yeah.
That
The pipes are just hot, it's 120 degrees outside, so the
Yeah.
pipes are hotter.
so it's
The water, the furnace, the water heaters and the boilers have alarms on them, so we have not adjusted the temperature for it to be hotter water.
Right. Any other questions? Yes.
Is there any schedule on the roads?
The question is there any schedule on repaving of the roads? Molly?
We don't have an update on that. That's considered a capital project. So it's on my list of things we want done, but I do not have a date for it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Alan, please tell us about the dining services.
And a pleasant good morning to you all. The big news, of course, in our area is Shane Oliver's departure. This will happen at the end of this week. Big party planned for him. We have cards out for everybody to sign to thank him for all that he's done for us. And let's face it, Shane really turned the whole food service activity around. We were dead on our feet. We were dead on our feet before he came along, and he sure brought a lot of life to us. So now, of course, the work is out there to have him replaced. And that's in the process, and we hope to have a replacement there before long. So at any rate, this coming week, at the end of the week, is when we say goodbye to go Shane. Other than that, we're just working on things. Overall, food service seems to be going better. People, for the most part, are leaving a little earlier than they did in the old days. So we are making progress, but we have lots of room to go. Any questions? Yes?
It's not really a question. I want to say a word about our Sunday afternoon grab and go feature. It's still a little hard to figure it out, but hopefully it satisfies a need that we've had for a long time, and that's something to do on Sunday afternoons. It's very nice. It's either a salad or a sandwich, and there'll be a soup and cookies and
hello. Anyway, it's very nice. You just sign up for it, just like you would for a meal that you're going to pick up. They can't deliver them, but you have to pick them up, and I think it's wonderful.
It's a great idea, but for the last 5 weeks, the sandwich has been always the same. And not really a wonderful sandwich.
We will work on that, but that's up on the top of our list.
My concern is that we're in test mode, and I've gone 4 Sundays. I've never taken the sandwich, and so I don't think it's a good test run because we don't have a variety.
We've got a lot of room to improve there. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Hold on, wait for him, Mike.
I was wondering, it seems to me, I don't know if it does to anyone else, that the amount of food we are getting is less and the choices are less. Can you speak to that?
Well, my impression is that the amount of food many times is less than what we were getting before, although a lot of people have said it's just what they want. So I will bring that up and we'll discuss it with the chef and see what's on the agenda. There are 2 ways of looking at it. I'll get back to you on that. Thank you.
But there's also, if you ask for more food, they will always give you more.
Also, the variety seems to be the same pretty much week after week.
So the variety.
When Becky was here, every night there were 2 vegetables choices. Now, there's only 1. And sometimes, if the vegetable is part of the entree, there's no vegetables.
So we want to expand, if possible, the offerings. Yeah, we'll bring that up at the meeting as well. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, let's go on to Bev. Would you tell us about health services?
Good morning. Those of you who attended the health services presentation last week in the auditorium, can you all hear me in the back? Those of you who were here last week for the health services presentation, understand the difficulty that we face since many of us do not have very good hearing, and the health services director, Helen, does not enunciate as well as we would like. Helen and Molly have a few other presentations planned for the next few months. So I just want you to know that our committee and Molly are working to make these presentations much more user-friendly. On another matter, when we first, George, can I hold this? On another matter, one of the things we often have to decide when we're faced with a health problem is we need to call the health services department, and our first question usually is, how much will this cost? So I'm going to give you a little 101. For example, if we think we will need a shower 3 times a week and would like a caregiver to come and help us do that, it seems really easy for us to think, okay, health services looks up on their list, shower 3 times a week, it's X number of dollars. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is definitely not the way it is, and it's much more complicated. And I just want you to understand what the health services department needs to do when they assess how much your services will cost. There are several categories of giving a shower, and I've made these up. I don't know the exact listing, but I've seen the health services assessment for Watermark before. This is just a for instance. Number 1, maybe you need a standby caregiver. Number 2, maybe you need somebody to prepare the shower, open it up for you. She stands by while you take a shower. She hands you a towel when you're finished. Number 3, the caregiver prepares the shower, helps the resident into the shower, hands her the soap and washcloth, helps her dry off afterwards. Or maybe the caregiver totally needs to give you the shower. Or does it take 2 caregivers to handle you in the shower? I'm telling you these things because sometimes we think there should be a really easy answer for something, and there may not be. The same categories would happen if you needed transfer or if you needed medications. And Molly last week told us about if it's 1 to 4 medications, it's X number of dollars. If it's more than that, it's divided into several categories. So I just want you to realize that it's not straightforward, and that sometimes when we think things should have a really fast answer, it doesn't always. the nursing department goes through lots of hoops before they can come up with an answer. So that's your 101. Ruthie?
I have a question.
Hold on.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I have a question. Looking back, when my husband was looking back, when my husband was around, he needed extra care. When our physician, our primary doctor, wrote an order, he got physical therapy, he got whatever he needed, inclusive showering, and then we got all the money back through Medicare and our secondary.
Ruthie, I'm gonna stop you ahead of time because this was like a little education and it's about as far as I go. And so at the FYI next week, it'll give you an opportunity to ask the Health Services Department.
Because I was just, while you were saying that, it came to my mind that this and this was offered, and he got everything at home, and we didn't have to pay anything.
Okay,
And we were covered.
it would be a good question for the Health Services Department. And I'm happy to take any other questions if there's something that you think our committee can do to make things better. Okay. On the scholarship?
Scholarship, please.
This is the fun part of scholarship. We visit with the applicants. We're able to find out a little bit about them, how they manage to work here at the Carlotta, some of them even full-time while they're still going to school. It's really quite amazing. It's interesting for us to hear about their goals and what they have planned for the future. We have 5 applicants. They will receive invitations from us sometime around the 1st of August, telling them that they're invited to the Carlotta to receive their checks and certificates. And you all will remember that last year we introduced the scholarship recipients at the council meeting in August. This year Molly has offered to have just a special reception for the applicants, for the recipients. And it will be the middle of August and it will be mid-afternoon. And so she's going to work that into the August calendar. Any questions?
You don't have a date?
Thank you.
We did. I do not have a date.
That's mine.
That's yours?
That's mine.
I'll leave it for you. I'll get my pen later.
Okay. Repeating a few things that have been said already, just to make sure everyone knows. Shane Oliver is leaving. We're going to have a going away party this coming Friday, right here in the auditorium at 3 o'clock. From what I understand, it will be champagne and cake. So please plan on giving him a good send-off. The other one was on Thursday, July 27th. There will be a volunteer luncheon. That's for those of you who volunteer for committees or other events where you do the bulk of the work. So please call Vanessa and tell her that you'll be joining us for lunch that day. Which leads to the next point I'd like to make. In a couple of months, September to be exact, the council will be faced with recruiting some new members for the council for next year. We'd like to encourage you, really encourage you, to give back to the community if you can by becoming a member of the council, and so that we can replace those who are on the council now who need to be replaced. So please give some thought to this. We really need some of you. We need those especially who have the desire to, as I said, give back to the community. The council is your spokesperson here at the Colorado. We cannot change things. We can make suggestions to management. However, there's nothing we can really order. But at least it is a forum for us to present your thoughts, your ideas for what management could do to make your living here at the Colorado more pleasurable for you. So please give consideration for this. We really would like to have you join us. There will be a great variety of openings, and we would take into consideration what you would like to do on the council. So please give this some thought. Meanwhile, I'll open up to any other questions you might have or any comments you want to make. Yes, Peter? Hold on, Peter, wait for a mic.
Thank you. In the north lobby, second floor, which I call the billiard room,
yes,
no one is moving the tables back after they play bocce, which means no one can get to the fruit or the water or anything like that. So I don't know where it's faltering, but somebody's got to be in charge of that. Thank you.
Angela, could you please send an email to Nestor telling them about the problem that furniture is not being returned? Any other questions or comments you'd like to make? Yes, Karen, hold on. Karen, Wayne.
I forgot to mention this earlier, but I have noticed 3 yellow jackets around my apartment. One of them happened to be in my apartment. And I know one of our residents got stung by a bee. I don't know whether it was a yellow jacket, which is a wasp, or a bee. But I think someone should start looking for a beehive or a wasp hive.
Have you notified the front desk to put a work order in for me?
No, I just kind of thought of it right now.
I would strongly suggest you do that. Now, maybe when we leave, go to the front desk and put in a work order for that.
Okay.
Please.
Also in the pool, in the pool, those guys, they are flying all over.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Wayne, can I just make a comment? Yeah. I don't know how many of you know this, but we listen to your concerns and your questions at this meeting and other times. But before the FYI meeting, we meet as a pre-FYI meeting on Fridays to discuss these things with Molly so that she knows what's going on, so that she can deal with those on the meeting on Wednesday.
So we're not talking about waiting until the next committee meetings with management. Angela will take care of the question that Peter has brought up. And I'm asking you, Karen, to when we leave, go to the front desk and put a work order in. The work order is our best start for having something done. Sending an email is even good because it gives you a documented record of what you've done. Okay. Pam? Microphone back to Pam, please.
Hi, this is to comment. In the last, I'm kind of a little disabled right now, and I've got naughty things coming up in my apartment that I needed help from maintenance. And for the last couple weeks, I've called the desk, and I'm not kidding, within hours, someone arrives at my door. And yesterday was like, I almost hardly put the phone down, and the couple of, I would say newer because, I've only just met them. Eric being one, and I think Joseph. Anyway, they're all eager and cheerful and willing, and if they can't fix it, they say, I'm gonna go tell Nestor and we'll get back to you if he can come this afternoon. It was like a communications miracle. So anyway, I just want to be on record that I've noticed, since I was gone for 2 months, I've noticed that it's drastically different, so that's good news.
Thank you for your comment, and I have noticed the same thing. The maintenance staff is performing extremely well. But again, make sure you take that first step, which is reporting it. And many of you have had good luck, for those of you who are using email to the front desk. Michelle?
I have started submitting work orders, and I address it to the concierge desk, but I also address it to Nestor directly. I put one in late last night. He's coming to our house this afternoon. He answered me by email this morning early saying that he would call before he comes, which is what I requested. So they are responding very quickly.
Yeah, true.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? One other thing I'd like to point out, and that is when you have a certain type of an event, health-wise, and you're thinking about calling wellness, or should I call 911? I strongly, if something happens in our household, either Cheryl or I would call 911 first. Then we call wellness, instead of doing it the other way around. Because wellness could take a while till I get to you, and those could be valuable minutes you're wasting. So call 911, then call wellness.
With the problems with the telephone system, the best thing you can do for wellness is pull that cord or push your button.
Yeah, push the button on your pendant or pull the cord in your bathroom. That's the quickest way of getting wellness to your facility. But again, if something happens, I would certainly urge you to call 911 first, then call wellness. Be on the safe side. Anything else?
Regarding the serving on a committee next year, we would be happy to answer any questions. So if you are interested, what does the committee do? What does it involve? We're here. Please come up and ask us information.
That is a good point, Angela, and I'd like to one more thing. That if you have a thought or an idea or thinking that maybe you'd like to be on the building and grounds, or be on the activities group, or be on the health services, or any other committees, residents are always welcome to attend those meetings. I'll repeat, residents are always welcome to attend those committee meetings. And they're always spelled out when their next meeting is. At the end of today, I will be sending out a package that will hold all the minutes of the meetings of not only this meeting, the treasurer's report, and also all the committee meetings. And on each committee meeting at the end, it will tell you when their next meeting is. Please, if you have any idea that you might like to join one of those committees, please just attend that meeting as a guest. And you can hear and see what's going on with them. Any other questions? Yes, Ellen?
In the middle of the night, let's say, if we hear some strange noises in the hall, who do we call? Because the lady at the concierge desk has gone home, and I don't know if the security lady is hooked to the front phone, or if, I know in my day, Skill got all the calls for everything and opened the gates for everything. So we were wondering, because we had a recent situation and there were some scary noises in the hall. And I didn't even dare to peek out. I did, but I was scared. We don't know who to call if it's something real. It wasn't George Clooney coming up the hall, I can tell you.
Okay, you would invite him in, I
I
assume.
would, yes, and I have not told a soul, but I don't know what do we call and who do we call?
Okay, that's a very good question. I do not know the answer to that. But Angela, would you please find out that that answer for me? And let's get it so that we can get it back to Ellen and the rest of the residents. What happens at night if you hear something and you want security or something else? Yes, ma'am.
That person answered we're on.
The other night, I was walking down the hall, this was about 10 o'clock, and the water was dripping from the ceiling. So I did go to the front office, or the front lobby. The lady wasn't there at the time, the security person. So I went home. I called the concierge desk. I did get the skilled nursing. And then they couldn't do anything. Later called and got the security person. And she said that she would try to do something about it. But I also had this problem with our north lobby outside door. One of our residents couldn't get in. They called me. I went and let them in. This was after 10. Actually, it was 11 o'clock. And I couldn't get the door shut. It wouldn't shut and lock. And I knew it had been locked because they're locked at 10 o'clock at night. So again, I called the front desk. Skilled answered. At this time, the security person was doing rounds. Called later, the security person was there, and she did come and lock the door. So, I just always call the front desk when I don't know what to do.
Yeah, but don't we have a key for the door?
Yes, but this didn't work.
Thank you, Karen.
Teach me not to go
Ron?
out at night and come back after even.
I would like to thank Wayne for running around with the microphone. It's very
Okay, there's a lot of things that, we still would like to see change. We'd like to, it's unbelievable to me, having been a former business owner, that these phones still do not work the way a telephone system should work. I cannot believe that this has been over. I think we're pushing 2 years, or it's getting close to 2 years. That is just unbelievable. Unbelievable that we can't leave a message, that we can't get people to answer their phone when we need them. We're not calling to see how they're doing. We're calling because we have a problem, or there is a problem. And so, I share all of your opinions and thoughts as far as why can't this be done and why can't that be done. We are doing our best. If you attend some of our meetings, it always has management in them. We always talk to them about the problems. Having said that, anything else you'd like to ask? Yes, Jan, hold on.
I was just wondering when we will have our photographs on the wall.
Well, that requires Cheryl to answer that. She's questioning when you're gonna have another photo session. Your answer?
Hopefully within the next 3 weeks.
Hopefully within the next 3 weeks there'll be a photo session. You would receive a call from Marge Emily and setting up an appointment for you to have your photo taken. So please, when Marge calls you, don't put it off. set a date. Anything else? So after saying that, the meeting, I feel that we should adjourn. Do I have a second? Thank you very much for attending. Have a great day. Stay cool, stay hydrated.